well. But first, I'd like to welcome from the Santa Fe Public Schools, Kristy Wagner, the Chief Operation Officer, and Lisa Randall, Energy and Water Conservation Program Coordinator.
You got it.
Man, you're lucky you don't have to do like iron-on for your shirt or something for
We'd
that,
have to
right?
abbreviate.
Yeah, it'd be small text at the bottom.
We need an acronym.
Yes, but thank you for joining us today, guys. I know there's some a big thing that's going to be going on now in the new year is the GO bond that the schools are putting out, and voting will start. Early voting starts next week, I believe. What is the GO bond? What is it going to do for us? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Joe, the general obligation bond, we call it the GO bond for Santa Fe Public Schools.
Thank you, yes.
It's our primary funding source, really, for improving and building our school facilities.
Okay.
So through a really collaborative process, a community-based process, we've identified $260 million in need across Santa Fe Public Schools.
Okay.
This particular election on February 7th would address approximately $100 million in prioritized projects.
Okay. What are the needs that you see? Because I know that I've been to the meetings. I see the lists of needs, but what are the key things that you see that the schools need? Because I know that it's an ongoing process. We have schools that have been around for a long time, and there's always, it's just like a house. Sometimes the water heater goes out. Sometimes you need to put a new roof in. Right. Sometimes you need to lay some new carpet in the house, right? Because it runs down.
Right, exactly.
So, and the schools are no different than that, because you have hundreds of kids running through the halls, staff there, events going on even on non-school hours, and they tend to get run down.
Yep.
Sure.
And you need to keep up with that. Is that?
It's a large portion of every general obligation bond is maintaining our facilities.
Okay.
We do have other funding sources for maintenance, but this is a primary source. Over 10 million of the 100 million will be dedicated to keeping our roofs tight, improving our parking lots, improving our heating and cooling systems for all those reasons you mentioned.
Yeah.
We also have a huge focus on supporting educational programs.
Okay.
So our programmatic needs change from bond to bond.
Okay.
And right now our focus area is supporting our secondary education programs and really reaching out to alternative type educational settings, bringing back the trades to South Campus, early college opportunities.
Going old school at Votech back in the 80s when we were there,
Absolutely. So revitalizing some hands-on programming for kids. Mandela International Magnet School, which is a baccalaureate program, 712 program, has some funding allocated in this bond. And then supporting some schools that have been around for a few years, Aspen, ATC, other schools across the district.
Yeah, and ATC, I know they're looking to have a gym and have science labs, things that are, that we consider that you need in order to teach kids properly.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria, yes. I mean, we take that for granted, right? How would it be not to go to eat at a cafeteria? That takes the whole experience, high school experience away from you. Exactly. So that's great. And also and I'm sorry, I apologize, but is this also going to help out with the building of the new school? Or is that a whole separate thing of the middle school?
No, absolutely. So we need approximately $29 million to rebuild the Llano Street campus for our new middle school, which was named last night, by the way. Yes. And so we will be allocating a significant portion of this bond to building that project, which we look forward to bringing to the community one of our best products yet, and supporting those middle schoolers in their new endeavors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw the plans too last night, and it's going to be a crown jewel of middle schools anywhere in the state. It's so beautiful. It looks great. So I'm really anxious to see it. I'm anxious to see what they're going to name. The mascot's going to be in the colors of the school.
I'm sure you are.
That should be interesting. We were throwing names around last night, but that's great. So you have that, and going back to talking about maintaining the schools. And Lisa, I know you've taken a big. You've been doing this now for the schools for a while now. You've been looking at making things more efficient, more green, as we call it, but really energy efficient. And when you're efficient, it means less money spent on energy, things like that. You've done solar. So what is it exactly? Talk a little bit about what you do as far as maintaining, because what you do is you turn inefficiency to efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great way to say it. And we often call it sustainability, or we call it going green, or really what we're coming to wrap our arms around is that it's just good building science to make sure that you're building buildings that are efficient, they're effective, they're wonderful places to teach and learn. They maximize our operational dollars, which means they are as efficient to run, heat, cool, water every day as that we can make them. Because that operational budget supports our teachers and our staff, the people who work the most directly with our students. So the less we spend on utilities, the more we spend on teaching and learning. So we really hit a number of important areas: fiscal responsibility, environmental responsibility, and this new middle school, for instance, will be state-of-the-art in terms of what we know to be good building science around sustainability. So we'll have geothermal heating and cooling, which uses half the energy than a typical school, like Nina Otero or Amy Beale, for instance. We'll have renewable energy, solar carport. We'll have water catchment so that we're watering the landscape with stormwater instead of potable city water. So all of those things, along with things that we've been doing for a number of years now, low flow fixtures, vacancy sensors for lighting, controlled climate, so we're not leaving the heating and the cooling on when nobody's in the building. All of those things are standard now at SFPS. An increased focus on indoor air quality, which we know affects teaching and learning. So all of those things are going to be incorporated into this new middle school, as well as all the other projects.
And I know I've noticed, and I'm sure other folks have noticed, that giant solar array that's at Santa Fe High right now. I mean, that is impressive.
It really
is. It's really cool. Hey, just out of question, have you guys started putting back, sending stuff back to P&M for the energy that you guys are
We do
saving?
Actually, on the weekends, or such a school such as Amy Beale that isn't in session in July.
That's pretty cool.
We're putting solar energy back into the grid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So this Go Bond, it's coming up. It's going to help the schools directly.
Correct.
We have seen anything. You really have seen when you vote for something, you wonder. I wonder if this is really helping us out. Is this a direct? But in the public schools, you have seen a direct result of all the money that's been voted for the schools, with the ETN, the technology bond, with the way kids are taught, and the technology and all the super fast internet that we have in there now. It's just something that their kids get results from. And I think, again, with this Go Bond coming up, it's something that your kids are going to benefit. Generations, the community is going to benefit from this happening. So I know early voting starts next week, correct?
It does, on January 18th.
Okay.
Early voting begins.
Okay. And where can people vote?
People can vote in 4 places across Santa Fe. They can vote at the county clerk's office, Santa Fe Community College, Nino Otero Community School, or they can also vote at the Educational Services Center, that central office, and it's 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday, up until February 4th.
Okay.
Yeah. And Joe, if you go to our website, www.sfps.info, there's a great 5-minute video you can watch on the general obligation bond, as well as information about our polling places.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. Awesome. Well, I hope that folks go out and vote, and because it will help our kids out, and I think that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Is to be able to give our kids facilities and the opportunities to learn in the best way. So
absolutely, for generations to come.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Kristy. I appreciate you, Lisa, coming on as well.
Thank you.
for
You guys
having
are
us.
welcome anytime, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Great.
Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking to the folks from the Super Bowl, so please stay tuned.